I anticipated coming to Pier to find it nice and green as usual this time of the year, and instead we discovered that we have the same kind of snow. Not as much, I suspect, as you do, but we've got snow too. And I think it's the same way all the way. So we are, just to let you know, we are already working. Matter of fact, I have a briefing with the National Weather Service right after this meeting today to talk about possibilities of flooding and about what their anticipation is for weather between now and the time the flooding season is upon us, and when the flooding season is supposed to begin, and all that kind of stuff. So we don't know much yet, but we will know more after this afternoon's meeting anyway about what to expect. And for some reason, you guys are right in the epicenter of that. But we're aware anyway, so we do have concerns. Well, let me just open it up. Look,
I would like to start. This will be our last one of these with you. You're going through a lot of last time things, I'm sure. And I don't know how many of the people here are aware of the many things the governor's done for Aberdeen during his time there. Talking about flooding, I think back to the flood of May of '07. The governor and his group from Pier practically beat our Aberdeen people to the emergency center. They were there very, very quickly to help us out, got the National Guard going. We might still be cleaning out debris from that flood if we hadn't had the National Guard and all their people there to clean that out in a couple of days, which was just amazing. And you know, Aberdeen could never express enough thanks for what the governor and his people did during that flood. And that's just part of the time that I've been mayor there. We've just had excellent relationships with everybody in Pier. Just a couple of things. The molded fiberglass plant would not be there without the governor's Office of Economic Development. The negotiation for the beef plant would have been passed long ago without the governor's involvement, and those are just a couple of things that I would just like to personally thank you here at the end of your second term for the good relationship that I've had from my office and Aberdeen in general. We appreciate it.
Thank you. The feeling is very much mutual. Working with the whole team in Aberdeen has truly been a pleasure. The economic development efforts, it doesn't happen if it's just the state saying do it. You gotta have the team at the local level working on things, and you have. It hasn't just been one thing or two things. I mean, it's been a whole series of things that you've been actively engaged in. I'll never forget the day that we came to Aberdeen and talked about the mine. Now, the mine in Homestake, it's not in your backyard. But you folks were so supportive of that project, recognizing that it was good for the entire state. And then the emergency activities, I mean, you put together your teams and you went out and you took care of business. And it's not a matter of the state coming in and doing that. It's a matter of Aberdeen saying, look, we'll tell you what we need for resources and we'll work with you and we'll get this stuff done. And so you can be very proud of what your community has been able to accomplish. And you know, the obstacles that you've overcome and the opportunities that you've created along the way. And MFG is going to be a marvelous, marvelous addition. And I know that anytime you're talking about a new facility in town, like we're going to talk about the beef plant and the time and the delays that have been involved with it, I can tell you that they have put together a business plan now, and the business plan has been approved by literally members of the Board of Economic Advisors that look at the Ready Fund. And we put together a loan, a package there, along with assisting in the overall long-term financing of this facility. I think that's not only going to be good for the community of Aberdeen, I think it's going to be very, very good for farmers and livestock feeders throughout eastern South Dakota, and the folks that sell the calves to them that live in western South Dakota. Well, we have the capacity of between 1.5 and 1.6 million head of calves a year within the state. Less than 800,000 right now are being fed in South Dakota. When you feed livestock and you turn that over, that's where you create new wealth, and that's where you create new job opportunities, and more dollars flow into the communities that are involved in that. So I'm very, very optimistic about what the beef plant will do, not just for Aberdeen, but for the surrounding area as well. Northern state, look, Northern is doing a great job, and be proud of what they're doing. You folks support them very, very well. That's very critical that you do. Don't be afraid to ask for more, challenge the university to do more based on what your needs are. And I think you're going to find a very welcoming administration. So, be engaged. Be engaged. Questions, thoughts, ideas?
What's been your best experience as governor, and what's been the biggest challenge?
Well, we're not done yet, so we don't quite know what's
Well,
going
and
to be the
hopefully
biggest.
it's involved your biggest joy has been Aberdeen.
Well, it's literally, I have truly enjoyed the economic development efforts across the state. The 2010 initiative, with all of the different aspects of it, have been very rewarding to me personally. And along with it, the idea is when we started out, we said, what's the biggest challenge we've got in South Dakota? It's keeping our kids here. Flat out, that's the biggest challenge we've got. And the 2010 was designed as a way to look at the different things that will keep young people in the state. You look back down on it in terms of growing the industries, promoting more tourism opportunities, creating an atmosphere of research and new technologies, recognizing that if it's not fun to live here, if the quality of life isn't good, they're not going to stick around. And finally, these things are going to change as industries change. And those are the 5 goals: is that we upgrade it, we continue to make it, we make it a business plan that we can look at and say, what's a better way of doing this, or what's a new approach that's out there. Our universities right now, record levels of attendance. Record levels at a time in which we've lost quite a few kids in K-12. We're down from 175,000 in 1969 to 123,000 now. We're right in that number. At the same time, we've got more people at our universities than ever before. They're doing some things very, very well. Technical schools, record attendance, in part because the job market's not there. In part because they're recognizing you got to go beyond high school in order to get a good education. It can't stop at high school. So that's been, and to see the research coming through and these young people being able to participate and stay in South Dakota and do that has been very, very good. I will also tell you that, as you can probably imagine, the welcoming home ceremonies for guards people, men and women alike, has been very rewarding. It has been good to be a part of those activities, and the thanking them for what they've done. That's been something that I have truly enjoyed and have looked forward to. The funerals are probably, without a doubt, the most challenging part of this job. You lose a soldier or an airman, and you remember them all. You just do. And that's something that I don't think, it's not really a part of what most governors would have expected as part of their job description until 9/11. And since 9/11, there's been a lot of governors that have attended a lot of funerals. We've been at war in this country since before I was governor, and we are still at war, and we've still got soldiers in the front lines. And